Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another edition of All Access Pass from Home. I am your virtual host, Jason Venner, and welcome back to many of you. Welcome for the first time for all of you fans out there. Today, I have an absolute soul music icon with me, the one and only Freddie Jackson. How are you, sir?
I'm your virtual friend,
You
guest.
are my virtual guest friend and partner in crime for the next 30 minutes or so.
That's right for the next 30 minutes, but in a minute, we're going to spend a lot of time together on a ship real soon.
That's right. That's exactly right. We get to just do a little preface right here before we get to the real thing.
There we go. It's a good thing.
Before we even get rolling here into any questions, how are you? How are you feeling? How's everything going over there in your corner of the world?
I'm here in New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey right now, South Jersey, close to Philadelphia. The Liberty, the bell ringing and toiling and
toiling, yes.
Toiling. We all toiling through this right now.
That's life right now. It's a good word for what we're all going through.
Oh God, is this we are going through this daily. Every day is something new. But to answer your question, I am feeling wonderful by the grace of God, good strength, good health, good energy and good people, good thoughts. You know, sometimes it gets a little rough on the mind, this distancing and not working, doing what it is that I love to do. That's entertaining. But I'm able to be filled up with something else, and that's by the grace. That's God's grace, and that's every day.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yes, I'm doing good. Beating up on my crew around here, but
someone's got to.
Somebody's got to do
Somebody's got to do it, right? Crew probably just dying to get out of line, thinking they don't got to work a little bit, and take advantage of the boss.
They're getting this thing off on me too.
The camera's got to go off sometime, and then it gets real. I'm sure.
They're blaming it on COVID. I'm like, no, it's messed up. That's what it is.
Like, you've had nothing but time to get this right, sir.
You right, there we go. Else I'm gonna have to do like someone else. You can say you're fired.
Yeah, let's not
go there. We don't even want to go there.
We only have 30 minutes, Freddie. We don't have.
That's another conversation.
That's a whole nother diatribe, and I need a beverage probably for that one. So
yeah, a strong one.
Yes,
a strong one.
Before I say anything else, matter of fact, I see a balloon over your shoulder there, and I would be remiss if I didn't on camera live here say happy almost birthday to you, October
2nd.
It's right?
Friday, October 2nd. I will be 60 that year old.
Years
old.
How
many people say? Yeah,
I understand.
I would be that age. It's going to be 64. I'm proud of it, and I'm happy. A lot of people didn't make it. I'm here. I'm doing it, and I have great things to look forward to. So I just count my blessings one by one. So it's a good day. Balloons. I walked into this room. Balloons were all up, and birthday cake and champagne and stuff. I'm like, looks like it's going to be a party.
So what you're saying is that your conversations show, which you're gonna go on air with here in about 45 minutes, could be live. It could be a couple champagne drinks and pieces of cake in, and
yeah, because I got a bunch of people that got to watch out with their drinking intake, around here. So
buttons and all of a sudden
they're closet drinkers, They're church boys, but they're closet drinkers,
Of course.
They commune more than on the first Sunday.
Yes, it's a little bit more than the blood of Christ.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with Christ. For Christ's sake, what do you mean? There's no more liquor?
Water into wine, baby. Someone's got to do it.
I got to bring these guys on the cruise. You better stock up.
Listen. Let's talk about the cruise for a second. Obviously, you were on the cruise, about 7 years ago. You did the only time that the Soul Train cruise has done the West Coast. And now it's high time we got you back. We were slated, we were excited, and then all of this nonsense,
COVID
hits, and we're delayed out a little bit. But you're still on track to come back with us, yes?
Listen. If I don't, you're gonna have problems pulling off.
You're gonna be on the gangway on the dock. Hey,
What about me?
Go, just go.
You're gonna think Popeye is holding that sucker down, okay? No, we are. I'm looking forward to it. You know, we had such a good time last time, reminiscing with Regina Bell and the late Billy Paul, Gladys Knight.
Gladys.
I spent a lot of time talking to Gladys Knight, you know, because she's very influential in giving me information when I first started in this industry.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And a short story, when I first started, I remember us doing the Budweiser Superfest. If you guys remember those big festivals. And my song Rock Me Tonight was a hit, and then here come a second album. And we're doing these festivals, and I finally get a chance to meet Miss Gladys Knight. And I knew the lady. Oh God, royalty. And I knew the lady that used to do her hair, makeup, Blondie. And so I said, I gotta meet her. So I went into the dressing room, and Miss Knight, humble, lovely woman, just embracing. She said, "So, Freddie, how do you like it? What do you think about being in this show business? How's it treating you?" I said, "Oh, Miss Knight, I'm just tired. I'm tired of a show after show, airplanes and hotels, and you know, I'm tired." She says, "So really, you're tired?" She says, "Talk to me in about 10 years and tell me about tired." So when I saw her on the Soul Train cruise, she says, "So you're still tired, Freddie?" I said, "Oh, I understand. Nope. I'm up now, mister. I got what you was talking about. I got it." So we just had a really good time. And I still carry that picture around in my phone of us in the dressing room and us laughing. So, you know, the Soul Train cruises, you know, there are many, but there's nothing like that energy. You just kind of like feel Don Cornelius all over it, you know? People come on one accord, and it just really fills the heart.
You know, very few, we were talking briefly off camera before we started that StarVista Live, who puts on, you know, the Soul Train cruise, they do 7, give or take, depending on the year, different genres of music as well, ages and, you know, styles and types. And I can tell you this, that it is rare that another cruise shows up to party like a Soul Train cruise.
Oh God, I mean, it's like bumping from the time you take off until the time you come back.
Energy.
Getting off is a party.
Absolutely. It's the energy.
And you meet so many wonderful people on the cruise. You know, and it's good to know that you can go places, and when you get off, people are like exchanging numbers and almost in tears.
It's a community, right? It's
you
a community.
spend that much soul and spirit with people, and on every floor and every day there's somebody else to see, you know, to pass by that you didn't even know was on the ship, you know, and there's a lot of fun. And then as the entertainers, we get a chance to hang out in each other's cabin and talk about all you guys.
Yeah, right. Everyone, we all smile and wave on stage. Everyone walks off stage. Did you see the so-and-so in the second row?
He's getting on my nerves. Did he knock on your door?
Dang
it, behind it.
Yeah, Mr. Jones walking down the hallway again. Yeah.
I know me and Billy Paul, like, he's like, you know, Freddie, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones, Mr. Jones.
It really is a community. It's and I think something that the fans really love to understand too is just like you telling that story a moment ago about being backstage with Gladys Knight, right? They forget that it's a reunion for the artists as well. Sometimes it's not just the guests coming to see y'all. It's the artists who've known each other for 20, 30, 40, you know, some odd years.
And we get a chance to be in one place because you can't walk out backstage and say, I don't believe the backstage door and say, I had enough of you. Unless you
because I'm gonna see you at breakfast,
whether
I like it or not.
You know, you can't catch a cab in the middle of the ocean. You know,
give me a tender, please.
You know, we're good for each other from the first until maybe the 5th day. After get away from me. No, but it's
I'm performing on the other end of the ship.
There's your end and my end, okay? But it's good because then we're able to talk about XYZ in the industry, and trust me, I'm sure when we get ready to get on the ship this year, next year, oh, we're gonna have a lot to talk about, because right about now we are all on the same boat and ship.
Well, and actually, that's as someone that has led his life on stage, right? You know, you're a musical icon. You are also royalty in this industry.
Thank you so much.
Well, I mean,
on my staff here, because sometimes they really get way out of control. They just think I'm one of them.
They just think you're helping out. Yeah,
they get it twisted.
Your name carries water in this industry without doubt. Obviously, what's it like not being on stage for this amount of time and not? And I know you still have. I know we have a virtual stage, but not having that live interaction with an audience. How is that affecting you? I mean, mentally,
it hurts. Because this is what I do, this is what I love, and I love the exchange between myself and my fans. I like putting it out there, and then I like looking out to see the expressions on their face, and I like to hear the applaud. After I got finished doing one of those Freddie Jackson world runs that you can't get when you virtual. You got to kind of like applaud for yourself and say, "Damn, that was good."
Start looking around the room for your engineer. Engineer better start clapping for me right
You want some more, Freddie? You want some more? You know,
there's only 3 of us here.
Right. I started asking for my own autograph, actually.
You signed your own birthday card, didn't you?
You dang all right about that. I made the cake behind me. But
you brought all your own stuff in.
Yeah, I brought my own stuff with me. I don't leave home without it. You know, these balloons I blew up.
I love
but
you.
It's not easy. It's not easy because this is what we love to do, especially our Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, or our show days. So when Friday,
and has been for a long time, you know.
But yeah, I mean, for me, it's been 30, almost 37 years. My weekends are dedicated to an airplane and a stage and a dressing room and band.
And a routine that goes with that, a mental and physical routine. You know.
I mean, my God, now my routine is going to the refrigerator, you know, from the bedroom to the refrigerator. And if I don't stop, those show jackets that I have will be busting out all over.
Right? All of us. I mean, all of us are trying on those shirts every couple of days. It's still buttons. It's still buttons.
This jacket I have on today, in my mind, I was like, I'll wear the green pinstripe jacket. I went and got it. I said, great jacket.
I'll save that for December. Yeah, I'll be back in shape by December.
I'm looking forward to maybe April when maybe I stop eating cake. You know, but you know, it's what I love. It's what I love, and I miss it. My Fridays, my weekends are the hardest times because I want to sing and perform, and I love my fans. Sometimes I'm told to pull back because I think I give so much. And so now here I'm left with a few neighbors next door to me now, and they're like banging on the door. Shut the hell up!
Bring it down, yeah.
Okay. We
get it. You're Freddie Jackson.
Yeah, we like you. We've got your records, but shut the hell up!
You know it's bad when your own records start coming back at you. You're like,
you know what I'm talking about? Your broken vinyl sitting outside your door.
Yeah. With the D after love. We loved you.
We loved you for old time's sake.
Yeah. Man, well, listen, even talking to you for 10 minutes already, I've got to ask straight up, how do you maintain your level of positivity? How do you maintain the type of jovial nature and the love you clearly have for this industry and life? I mean, you are eternally a positive person, and even watching and I want to touch on it in a minute, but your YouTube channel and some of your conversations with Freddie Jackson, what mental space do you have to keep? Do you have daily routines? Do you have things that help you maintain that? Because that's not easy, and a lot of people, I think, struggle.
I have to, I wrote a song for my new CD, and it's called Leave the Negative Alone. You got to think positive. You gotta leave this negative stuff out of your existence, because if you don't, you will fall apart. And I'm grateful. After moving from New York City to South Jersey, I left a lot of baggage back in New York City because New York
Sure.
was really consuming, I think, the better part of me.
Mhm.
And I needed to try to find my way, to find me, my happiness again. And so, what I've learned how to do is to pray, to meditate, and not allow myself to fall in the trap of other people's sorrow and doubt. Because when you do that, then you become consumed with something that really does not belong to you. And right now, I've got enough of my own to hold on to. So trying to hold on to someone else's skepticism, their doubt, their hate, uh,
Their baggage in general.
a whole bunch of hefty sensatch, baggage,
Of
garbage,
stuff. Yeah.
stuff, just a whole bunch of stuff. Um, I got enough stuff, but I've learned how to place my stuff in with my faith. So
Wonderful.
it's in order for it's very important for me to stay grounded. I know from where I came from, but I know better now where I am. And so that
That's a
means
great statement.
sometimes being silent, being still, and
Hmm.
being quiet so that I can receive the answer that I need for my next.
Well, you mentioned a moment ago too that you've surrounded yourself with positive people. And I find personally that helps me a great deal is the
Yes.
company I keep greatly influences. I pride myself on being a positive, forward-looking person, but I find that my environment can start to seep into me one way or another. And so I can be susceptible to that, which I think is a human condition to a certain extent.
That's just a part of nature, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know, but we have to learn how much we can take and how
Mm.
much of it we really we need every single day.
Personal
Because
boundaries.
every day, I'm sure you're going through it. You know, you hear something else that's scary and something
Sure.
enough to really wear on your mind and your heart. Trust me, all of us are in the same, like I keep saying, the boat, but this one is,
Yeah.
it seems to be sinking. But
Yeah.
before it gets that bad, there's a song that says, all of the ground is sinking sand. And so you gotta stand on your Christ. And when you stand on your Christ, then you can rise above the negative. So you got to keep yourself in, in your oneness. And see, I
Yeah.
found me, my wholeness, Freddie Jackson's wholeness, where I was like, I was on that, I was
You're
drifting
feeling
out.
it.
I was drifting, but I had to really find something in a place where I can really learn how to be free again. And I found my freedom.
That's I commend you for that because I think that is something that it's very easy to get. You mentioned baggage and carrying other people's dramas and finding your own boundaries and your own solid ground and
Uh-huh.
who and what and how to rely on. I think it is so easy, especially right now. Right now, I don't want to slip down a path in this conversation where we get too ethereal, but we're in a time that's tumultuous.
Oh,
Whether it's politically or socially, whether it's socioeconomic. Or, I mean, there's so many
physically.
balls in the air right now,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's so easy, I think, to slide down a path of hope is such a vital thing, right?
Yes,
Even
it
if
is.
it's just daily hope. It doesn't have to be eternal hope. It doesn't have to be lifelong hope. Even
That's
just
true.
daily hope.
And when that's stepped upon, that
Yes.
thing that really kind of keeps you going, your hope.
Yes.
When you don't feel like you have anything to live for, your hope. I hope for things to get better. I hope for a brighter tomorrow. When you feel that is being attacked, that's like somebody's
Yeah.
snatching the heart out of you.
It
So
is.
you've got to you got to hold on to those things like hope, faith, trust, and belief in order to endure our every day, to look forward to the brighter days that are ahead. And I know you know that there are brighter days ahead. We just right now have to
Absolutely.
muddle through, and that's the word, muddle through this madness that we're hearing and what we're going through. We've got to muddle through it. But while we're muddling through it, find your place of happiness,
Yeah.
because there is a lot to be happy about. There's a song that the Winans did that said, "Millions didn't make it, but I'm just one of the ones who did." And so when we think about it, we should be grateful that we're one of the ones who are still able to talk to each other today.
Amazing. You're extremely articulate, and that's a wonderful way of summing that up. And it's so true. I was talking to.
Oh, I'm good. I know I'm good. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was talking to Kenny Copeland of Rolls Royce. Recently.
I love a car wash.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I was talking to Kenny, and Kenny actually made a point, and I would just tag it on to yours. You know, that as we're going through a lot of these things. He said it wonderfully non-politically. He said,
okay.
I don't care what your choice is. Everyone's got to vote right now as well. And
no matter what it is, that's right.
I tag that on to your point of maintaining some semblance of it's going to be better tomorrow. Mm-hmm. The whole concept of it being better tomorrow is we do have some power as individuals, as people, you know, whether we are black or white or men or women or you know, or this or that or whatever we are, there is some power. And
I'm sorry, but this election really shouldn't have a color.
Amen.
It really shouldn't have a color, because right now it's just turmeric. That's what it is. It has no color. Right now, we need to face our own individual facts and put them all in one pot together and say what it is that we all need. Because let's be perfectly honest with you, we can't afford to waste another 4 years in this iffy place of mind where we are right now, because it's too much if going on, and then there's too many people are losing their structure. You know, the people are upset, mad at each other, and they don't even know why. But it's like this disease has taken over our minds, even though we think that we're sane. You know, so we have to be very careful of the things that we say and what we do and what we are about to do. And it is important for us to all stand on that line and take care of business.
Well, I think to a certain extent, to add into that, we've forgotten how important it is to care about each other, right?
Isn't there something?
And I know, and I'm speaking with such a huge paintbrush right now, but I think it's easy for people to get self-absorbed in this moment because we are stuck with COVID and all the other things. And it's very easy to go, well, this doesn't affect me. You know, I am a man, women's rights don't affect me, or I am white, so what happens to the black community doesn't affect me, or I'm black, so what happens to the, you know, it's very easy, right, for all of us to kind of shell game this around. And we forget that whoever we are, there's another, and there's another, and there's another.
And another, and it goes on. This is going to go on after us, way after us. I'm concerned about the future, and you know, and what's going to happen with my nieces and nephews, and on and on. And this place that we are all in right now. This is not. A young lady, a family was watching the debate the other day, and the lady said her daughter ran into her bedroom and says, God, Mommy, are we going to all have to get guns? Well, you know, people are really afraid of what's next. And that's a sad place to be in when your children are afraid of growing up. That's deep when your kids are in fear of their neighbors and their friends, and now they're behind masks and can't touch. Oh God, I couldn't imagine what it would be like when I was growing up, not being able to touch and play with my friends without feeling like if we breathe on each other, something's gonna happen.
Right?
That's the word, that we can die. But we've just got to learn to hold on, be patient, because God is a patient God. And if he can be patient with us, then we should learn how to be patient with each other.
Beautifully said, sir. So shifting gears a little bit, tell me a little bit about how conversations with Freddie Jackson came to be.
Well, my manager say I talk too much.
He thought we might as well give you a
So
platform.
he says, so to shut you up from talking to me, why don't you talk to everybody?
Talk to everybody else. I'm done with it.
He's like, he's ghost on the weekends. He's like, stop answering his telephone. I know
this
what
is
that
the greatest thing he's ever done.
Yeah. He's like, are you happy now? I'm not talking to you. You got other people to talk to. Well, we just felt that it was important for us. Excuse me.
No, please.
It was important for us to speak to each other, to speak to. I felt it was important for me to connect with my audience and my fans, because they know the serious nature of me when I'm on stage, of course, because it's a serious job, and I am the love man,
baby. Yeah.
Oh, baby, I'm bedroom stuff.
There are children here because you are
Mr.
here.
Tasty Love, you know what I'm talking about? So they know that sensual, get up side. But there's a fun side of me.
Absolutely.
And a lot of entertainers, we are so used to not wanting to show that laughing side, that side where we let our guards down. But sometimes I'm told to really calm it down, because I'll give, I remember when I first met my manager, he's like, why do you always have to be laughing and having such a good time?
Why are you in such a good mood, sir? Yeah.
Right.
How dare you?
This is You Are My Lady, not the clown song, So
should you be Barry Whiting around this room right now? Shouldn't you be voice quiet and things like that?
Practice what you preach. That's what
exactly.
I practice what I preach. But, I just wanted my fans to see Freddie. I said to the guys that work with me in one of the conversation pieces, this week I'm Freddie. Okay, next week I'll be Mr. Jackson. But I kind of dig that camaraderie when we can just chill out like you and I call it shit-chatting, not chit-chatting. Just shitting around.
Just shit-chatting.
Just shitting around and talking and having a good time. And it's not so straightforward interview kind of, so when did you grow up in what city?
Yeah.
I just wanted
Excuse me, sir. Question number 6. If you could tell me,
Yeah, I see you stacked with papers there,
And they're actually, and to be completely honest, they sit here next to me because every now and then I jot a note that I want to come back to something, but I'll show you. I don't ever script a question. These are just things that as you say something, I'll write something down so I know to circle back to it, but that's it. I intentionally don't like to script because I want this.
You want the true, it's like almost like I tell people, sometimes I get tired of text messages and stuff, and I get tired of people writing LOL. When I really want to hear you LOL, I really want to hear the laughter. I want you to say, shut up, I'm gonna call you back in a minute, my stomach is hurting. Remember those phone calls? I want some of those. That's what we call for old time's sake conversations. And that's what I want to get.
I think also it's wonderful to allow, this is obviously social media and, YouTube and these types of channels and interactions that have become more prominent allows your fans a different level of access to you than they might be used to, right? If you said it yourself, they're used to Freddie Jackson as Quiet Storm. They know Freddie Jackson as coming into your house or into your bedroom at a certain time of night or whatever.
That's right. Saying things that they can't say for them.
Right, yeah. Certainly not around their kids or their parents.
There we go.
So it's got to be kind of fun to give your fans a different level of access. I was watching one of your shows just today. Actually, I've watched a handful of them, and today's I was actually thinking to myself how cool it is that you have so many people from all over the world commenting and talking to you and saying, I remember when you were in, insert country or insert random place. And
it helps me.
I was just going to say that has to be therapeutic for you as well.
It helps me to go back, and when
Yeah.
I'm getting calls, when we're getting people chatting from Germany and Holland and
I heard
China,
Sweden.
Sweden.
I heard an African nation. I heard a whole bunch of different.
I
Yeah.
mean, my God, Paris and stuff.
Yeah. We
You know.
remember you with Stephanie Mills, or we remember you with,
Yeah,
Melba Moore, or we
yeah,
remember.
and as and as artists, we forget a lot of things that we've
Mhm.
done because there's so many.
Yeah.
So every Thursday that I do conversations, it allows me to connect with some people that remember something that I did when I came to their countries or their cities, because music is a powerful thing, and it transcends and it reaches. Far beyond than what I can imagine. So with the success of so many songs, it's just lovely to know that, as I say at the end of my show, that love is just a touch away, and we're still moving.
Amen to that. Before we wrap things up here, I know you got to get ready for that show. Talk to me a little bit about some newer music. I heard rumor that potentially you've been writing, producing, creating some new stuff here. Is that?
I've been writing and producing, co-producing. I have a guy that produces with me, but he's lazy. He won't go back into the studio and finish up my music. So it's not my fault that it's late. It's because of my Mr. James Evans. It's not even not me. I'm ready to, he won't lay
Get it
tracks.
together, James. Get it together, James.
Hello, you here, James? Get it together, James.
James, the world needs Freddie Jackson music right now more than anything. Come on, James.
And let's look at it this way. I do know that we will be bringing it on the Soul Train cruise.
Love it.
We will have brand new CDs, a CD for the Soul Train cruise, so you can cruise within those cabins. I'm not getting into anything else that goes on in those cabins, but I want you to
those are grown folks on that
nice
cruise.
and slow in those cabins.
There will be no motion in that ocean, kids.
Oh, you see, you're going somewhere else now.
Where can people tune in, and how do they check out conversations with?
We're at what are we on?
You're on YouTube,
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
As we're chatting about it, we're going to run everything down here in the
run it down.
Guests can see it down here below us, And so every Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Every Thursday at 8 o'clock, I'm chit-chatting with people and having.
What's the premise of the show? Just conversational,
just conversation. Talking to my guys about music, letting people know what's going on, and really having conversation with, like what you just said. People calling in saying, "Freddie, do you remember such and such?" Some people are getting a little too deep.
Yeah, right.
My alcoholic days and stuff like that.
Listen, everyone's got a period in their life that they don't need rehashed.
Yeah, every 10 minutes. I'm like, cut that microphone or get that letter off there.
Mute that comment, please.
It wasn't me.
Easy, Shaggy. Yeah, go full Shaggy on him.
There we go.
So every Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern, and again, you can see all that stuff, all the destinations below us here. But I also want to touch on one more thing. I know you have you've talked about domestic violence a fair bit, and I know that you promote townclockcdc.org. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it's important for me because I went searching for a friend of mine, very dear friend of mine, and to find out that she was actually in one of the homeless shelters for battered women and family. And it bothered me a lot. This is a very strong woman, a very independent woman. And it was a situation where she thought love conquered all. And it didn't conquer. Actually, it broke her down. So I was able to find her in one of the shelters, and I was able to assist her and help her with assistance. And it made me feel good, but out of all of the years of her helping me, when I did the 9 to 5, she was my backing. She had my back, every Every week when I needed that extra $20 because I had messed up my money all week long, she had it laid out for me. But she was good. She opened the doors to me when I went through things. So I had to go and return the favor. And so when I heard about this organization, this nonprofit, I said, I need to become involved because especially now with the dysfunction of the world, there's a lot of dysfunction going on in homes because people are very close to each other every single day. And their tensions are wearing on each other and it's turning into domestic violence. So I felt it was a good time for me to become involved again. So Town Clock is very important to me. And I hope that everyone who may need some assistance would definitely get in touch with them.
And again, we'll run that down below, but that's Town Clock, TOWNCLOCK, CDC.org. And
yes.
That's for, and I assume that's for not only someone who's potentially a victim, but also someone who knows someone who's potentially victims, or someone who just wants to provide help, even if they don't know someone who's going through it. Although anyone like that can tune in.
Because it's a nonprofit and they need things to assist people who are in trouble. So right about now, everybody I think is in need. And if you can help somebody try to find their way again, I encourage you to really check out the organization.
Well, that's a great window into your heart and soul. And I think that that's a now, especially to your point, I mean, there's so many different people need help in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. And, you know, we can't do every single one of them. But I do think it's important that people find something that they care about. And obviously this is something you care about. And I think that's wonderful.
There was an old saying, commercial that said, a little dab will do you.
A little dab will do you. Before we get out of here, and I know you got to get prepared because you got your Thursday night show coming up here. Any message? Obviously, there's a lot of folks out there going through a lot of things, whether it is social injustice or the politics wearing on them, or the virus and the pandemic and everything. Whatever the fact is, loss of jobs, and I mean, there's just a lot of things weighing on a lot of people. I look up to you a lot, and I admire your stance on things. And what would you say to all the folks out there right now, struggling or not? What's your message for people today in terms of going forward?
To keep your hope. Jesse Jackson said, keep hope alive and don't give up, because a brighter day and a better day, as someone is saying to us, a better day is ahead. And you've got to allow the sun to shine through in your hearts and in your minds, and to know that a change, as the song says, a change is gonna come.
You're a beautiful human, sir, and I really, truly appreciate you taking the time to be with us here.
Thank you.
Not only for StarVista Live, of course, for all the charters, but specifically for Soul Train Cruise. I know you have a huge fan base, and I know the Soul Train Cruise can't wait to see you here as soon as we get back to cruising.
I can't wait to get on the Soul Train.
I love it, baby. I love it. All right, all my friends and family out there, thank you so much for tuning in. I am your virtual cruise host, Jason, and that was the one and only Mr. Freddie Jackson. Whatever you do with your day and your time, as he said, as the man said, very specifically, keep your hope, keep love alive, and keep moving forward. Let's treat each other with kindness and respect. Be safe, have some empathy, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks, everybody.
Here we go.